I am live. Hello, everyone. Okay, I can see I'm online now, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. I hope everyone's doing well. Hi, Seth. How's it going? Anyone else around? So I'll give it a second. So, thank you for joining so far. I can see I got two people watching at the moment. Hopefully, some more will join because I would like a little bit of extra participation here. But guys, what I'm going to talk about today is about harmonizing a melody. This is actually anyone who saw the songwriting Facebook Live I did a few weeks ago. It's quite similar to that, but we're working in a different way now because of what I did a few weeks ago was I got us to get a chord progression together, and then from that chord progression, we said, what kind of notes are in each chord, and then we picked those out together to get a nice melody. We're going to work the other way now, and we're going to start with a melody, and we're just going to do very, very, very simple harmonization to that. And to begin with, I'm going to give everyone a quick example, if I can. So I'm going to pull up something here, see if I can do this on the fly. We don't have Jimmy. I don't have Jimmy here with me today, and Jimmy is the one who's usually super hot at technical things, but we'll see how we go. So I'm going to pull up something which lots of the students are going to be familiar with, which is G4 method for the juniors. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we've got some nice tunes in here, and here's one, Twinkle Twinkle. So we can see here, we have Twinkle Twinkle here. I'll just play that for you. We all know how it goes, maybe just the first bit. Great, so we all know that, and we all know how it goes. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm just going to give you a quick example how we can harmonize this, because obviously that's just a tune at the moment. It's a melody, and remember, melody means that we just got one note going at a time. And if we want to accompany ourselves on the guitar, we can add chords to this, and this will sound something like this if I do it simply. See if I can do this. Which works absolutely fine. I think it sounds lovely. So guys, let's talk about what's going on here now. So this is where lots of our different topics come together as well, because of we have when we're learning as we are through the G4 method, we have lots of different topics. We have the 7 different topics or skills that we learn, and it always, I think, to everyone who's beginning out, and even our intermediate players, it always seems like very different topics. We got scales here, we learn that. Then we got some music reading, we learn that. We got some chords, we learn that. And it takes a while for them to all connect together. And this is one of those moments where I think it's going to really connect together. So what we're going to work with today is we're going to work in the key of G major, and we're going to work in the key of G major for a very particular reason that hopefully will become obvious. So let's just talk about this to begin with, please. If we start here, and if anyone's got their guitars on them, feel free to have a pluck along of this as well. We have, starting on the 3rd string open, that's our G, and our G major scale is this: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp on the second fret, and then G. So we got our 7 notes and then the high G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to G. Now, let's write this out. We'll get into writing something together as well soon, Sev. Thanks for commenting on that. So let's go to here. I'm going to go to my whiteboard. I'll try and be quick with this. So the notes we had there are, again, G, A. My computer's doing a little dot after each note. Please ignore that. B, C, D, E, F sharp. I might be foiled here, everyone, because I'm not actually sure how to get a sharp sign on my computer. I'm using a different computer today. Let's try this. I'll try one more. No. Okay, well, let's put a little star next to the F to it, and that's going to mean sharp today. And then we come back to a G again. Now, from every one of, always please think about our scales. The reason we learn our scales, obviously they're good exercises to get our fingers working, and that's a good enough reason to begin with to learn them. But they're the building blocks of all the songs that we love, because out of these notes, firstly, we use the notes to make our melodies. But secondly, we use them to build our chords. So let's talk about those. Let's just talk about one chord to begin with. We'll talk about a G major chord, because it's the first chord here. Now, a G major chord, let's write this up. A G major chord has the notes G, G, and then how we build all of these major and minor chords, everyone, in case you don't know this, is we take the first note that it's named after from the scale, and then we skip one. So we're going to skip that A note, completely skipped, and then we're going to have a B. Then we're going to skip the next note, which is the C, and then we're going to have a D. So this also comes on to our arpeggios topic, because of when we do our arpeggios, we have G, B, D, and G. Okay. So that's how our G chord is built, and that's what we refer to as our one chord. If you can see, if we numbered all of the notes in the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is our one chord, the G. Now, what we're going to do today, and I'll fly through this now before we get into writing something together, is I'm going to pick 2 more chords, because with 3 chords that most of us know, we're going to be able to harmonize any melody, as long as that melody is staying within the notes of the key. So the next chord we're going to take is the one that's built on the 4th. So the one that's built on from the note C. So if we have a look at this, the notes we're going to have in a C chord are going to be the note C, obviously, is the first one. Then after that, we skip the D. Remember, we just skip the next note in the scale. Then it's going to have an E, and then skip the F sharp, and we've got a G. Cool. I hope everyone's staying with me at the moment. Okay. So, and again, our arpeggios, anyone who's done their arpeggios is going to know. C, E, G. And we're going to pick one last chord, which is going to be our 5 chord. So it's the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. Okay, and here's our D. It's going to be built firstly on the note D. Then you skip a note, which is going to be the E in the scale, and then we're going to have an F sharp, which I'm going to do a little star, and then you skip a note, which is the G, and then we're going to have an A there. Okay, down the side here, I'm actually going to write 1 because that's the 1 chord. Then I'm going to write 2 here, 4 here because that's the 4 chord, and here a 5. Cool. I haven't checked Facebook in a while, everyone. So if anyone's got any comments about anything or any kind of confusion at the moment, hi Anita, then please let me know. But we'll look good at the moment. Okay, cool. So we've got 4 chords. We've got 3 chords. We've got a G, a C, and these are all major chords, and we've got a D. Now, any melody we have, we are going to be able to harmonize it and add a chord to it with any one of these, with at least one of these chords. Because if you look at it, if a G happens, if there's a G in the melody, then you can see that we're going to be able to use a G chord because it has a G in it. The A, or we're going to be able to use the C chord actually. I didn't write that up very well. Look at that. So we've got 2 chords that we could use for a G. If an A happens in the melody, we could use that D chord down the bottom, and we could go on and on like this. You know, if there's a B in our melody, we can use that G chord, a C in the melody, a C. If there's a D, we can use a D chord or the G chord, and so on and so forth. Is this making sense, everyone, so far? I feel like I'm blah, blah, blahing, very much like a lot of my lessons. I hope this is all good. So here it is laid out, and let's go back to Twinkle, Twinkle, please. So what I did at the beginning, that example I gave you guys was this, is within this first bit of the melody, you can see, and this is where actually our music reading really comes in handy, because of if you only ever learn guitar based on tab, then what's this? It's a 0 on string 3. And what's this? It's a 3 on string 2. But the way we're learning to read music, knowing that this is a G, knowing this is a D, knowing this is an E, and so on, is going to be very, 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 very useful to us, as I hope you're seeing now. So you can see in our melody, and I'm sorry I can't zoom in, I'm actually using a different computer today, and it's I'm not as fluent with it. But our first note here, there, is a G. So what I did is I played a G chord there at the beginning. Now, you know, we've got options here now, because of once we've done that G chord, then the melody goes to a D. Now, the cool thing about this is we've got an option, and this is us with our own songwriting. When we apply this to something, we're going to be able to say, well, do I want to change chord there? Because that D is in the G chord and it's in a D chord. So we could go twinkle, twinkle, all just to a G chord, or we could go twinkle and then change to D. Twinkle, twinkle. I'm going to say let's go for a D for now, because it's more chords, which means more fun, I think. Cool. So we've changed chords there. And then you can see this next note we've got here is an E. And we'll know this from our music reading as well. So we've got an E there. There's only one chord which goes with the E. So, you know, it's making it pretty easy for us. Well, there's only one chord that we picked out, because we're using just 3 chords to harmonize. And 3 chords there, I know not everyone knows. I know our young beginners haven't learned the D chord yet, but it's one that I think everyone's going to be able to get their fingers around in no time at all. Okay, and then we got C, and then at the end here we have another D note. So that D could be again harmonized with a G or a D. So we've got 2 options now at the end there. G. That's one way we could finish it. The other is or to a G. And I'm going to say G because of going back to the chord that is the first chord in the scale. Feels like you've gone back home. It feels very nicely completed. We're going to go back to a G there. Okay, so that was an example, everyone, of how to harmonize a melody. We took an existing melody, something quite simple, here in the key of G major, using just 3 chords. So let's go out. I'm going to ask everyone, please, to anyone who's here. I know we've only got a few people here, but if you could give me a number between everyone who's on, give me 2 numbers, please. 2 numbers between 1 and 8 inclusive, please. That would be awesome. And I will wait for a second while you give me some numbers, please. Not a 1, actually. I'm gonna stick to a 1. I'm gonna start with a 1. Okay, we've got an 8 and we've got a 1. Thank you, Anita. If you could give me anything, maybe one more that's not 1 or 8 as well, please. That would be great. And we'll start writing this down. So Anita's got a few. 2 and 4 from Vicki, and 3. Thank you, everyone. Well, actually, Anita, I'm going to take your first one, which is 1. I'm going to go. Well, let's do this. So 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay, going back to my whiteboard. Here we are. So let's pick a different color. Yeah, obviously this is a bit of a strange way maybe to begin writing a song, but the main thing we want to do is I believe deeply there is absolutely no reason to sit in front of a blank piece of paper with your guitar like this, thinking, oh God, nothing's coming up. I'm really struggling to think of anything or get inspired. It's always great to start with something. So, you know, and there's many ways you could do that. You could write numbers on a piece of paper or notes and cut them up and throw them in the air and see where they land. You could get a die and roll it. You could do a Facebook Live video and ask people to give you numbers randomly. So this is absolutely perfect. So I think we had, I'll double check, I've forgotten already, 1 sec. So 1, 3, 2, 4. Ruben, hello Ruben. So Ruben, you give me 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's a dragonfly in my room. Ugh. Okay. Sorry guys. Can you hear it? Please leave. Okay, thank you. Got a bit scared there. Okay, here we go. 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay, here we are. 1, 3, 2, 4, and then Ruben, I'm going to take your other one as well. 8. Let's see how that goes. So if we relay this back to the scale we had there, we're going to start on a G, and then we're going to play a B note, then an A, 5 is D, and then a high G. Now, this is an absolutely brilliant starting point. Like I was saying, you know, there's nothing worse than having nothing. So let's see how this sounds. So I'm just going to delete this loop because I'll be looping stuff. So. Okay, now. I'm going to go back to the 1. That sounds better to me. Okay, what do we think, everyone? What do we think about the melody? Are we happy with that? Well, it's just notes. Obviously, there's something else, is rhythm. But I'm going to keep it simple today. I'm going to do that. Let's do 2 like that. Okay, and I'm going to loop that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's have a look at our options. Everyone, yeah, thanks, Vicki. That was a little bit scary with the dragonfly. Okay, here we go. So I think I just forgot my whiteboard up. So with the G chord, sorry, with the G note, this first one, we have this one. We have two options. We have a G. We could do a G chord, the 1 chord, or we could do a D. So let's write these in quickly, shall we? So for the G chord, we could do a G chord, G major, or we could do a G major. For the B chord, we could just do a G. A G is the only chord that has a B in it. For the A chord, we can only do a D, the 5 chord. For the D, we got two options. We got a G or a B. I know this looks very messy, everyone. I hope it kind of makes sense. I'll tell you what, I'll do a little box around the melody. So this is the melody. It's looking strange. Cool. And then we finish on a G. So again, we've got a G. And we've got a D. So guys, we've got a couple of moments here where we've got a couple of options. With this first one, we got two chords that we could pick: the G or the D. I've messed that up, didn't I? No, not a B chord, a G or a D chord. Sorry, everyone. Let's go into that. Okay, so we've got 3 points where we've got a couple of options here. And I suppose what I'll do is I'm just going to strum a chord to the first note, and then I'll do a G. So I'll go G, G, D, and just do that for now, and see what you guys think. So here we go. Here's the first one. Maybe I'll just do that first chord. Okay, so G to G, D, and G. Okay. This time the only thing I'll change is I'll start on a D chord. So the first time I did let's get more funky rings around things. So this time I did G, G, D, D, G, and that sounded like this again. And again. Okay. So keep that in your heads. This time I'm going to play, so that was in the orange circles. Let's get a different color out. Let's get pink. This time in pink, I'm going to do a D chord, and let's see what we prefer. So guys, let's do the D at the beginning and see how we feel. go. Did I have it wrong? And. Oh. Okay, I thought that sounded weird, and it sounded weird for a very, very particular reason. It's because of I totally got it wrong there. With a G chord, we got two options: a G or a C. I wondered why that sounded so weird. Apologies, everyone. So I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh. Okay. So I can have a C chord here. That means, and this D was a G or a D. And then again, do the last one. Tell you what, I'll just do a cross for this. Okay, the last one's going to be a C as well. Okay, so this time I'm going to try in pink the C chord to begin with. Here we go. 3, 4. Okay, do we have any preference? This is the C. Okay, C again. I'm going to do the G this time, so you can have a reference. 3, 4, G. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go back to Facebook. What the first one? Well, the D chord. So now I've don't have the right one. Start on C, Ruben. I'm with you, buddy, on this big time. And there's a really good reason for this as well. I think, anyway. It's because of within the 3 notes of every chord, they all have a very different kind of feeling to them. If I'm doing a G note and I play a G chord, it's very just a home and content, and it's just solid, like a nice foundation. Whereas if I play a C chord and I put a G in there, it's the middle note out of the 3 notes, and that actually has a really kind of like quite emotional feeling to it, something, you know, longing, I'm not sure. So yeah, thanks Vicki as well. So I agree with this. We're all on the same page here, everyone. Cool. Okay, so we got a C there. Absolutely brilliant. Let's try. Okay, on this D chord, I've just been doing D until now. So I'm going to try going to, in pink again, I'm going to go to this G here. So my chord progression now is going to be C, G, D, G, G. Let's see how it goes. Sounds a bit boring just staying on that G. I'll try going to a C at the end. It's feeling all wrong to me, everyone. I don't know what you think. Please have your comments with that. But over that D, doing a G chord, there was something about it I just didn't like, and I'm sure there's some very deep theory we could go into or be told about that would explain why that didn't feel as nice to me. But it really didn't, and we don't need to know all of the theory all of the time. It's just knowing enough that we can put ourselves in positions where we can do things like this and just give ourselves questions, yes or no questions. Do I like it? Yeah, I like it. Or do I like it? No, I don't like it. So I'm going to say, since we've just hit the half-hour mark, let's have a go at this. So it's going to be a C chord, going to a G, going to a D, going to a D, going to a G. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, everyone? Feeling all right? Sounding good? So, Ruben, I like the first one because it comes back home to the G. Yeah, absolutely. The H should be a G. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree totally, guys. And the last thing I was thinking is, we were just using 3 chords here. So remember, if you've got a tune that's in a scale, a major scale, you can always use the first chord that's built from the scale. So G major, this is the first one. G, A, B. Then the 4th chord, C major, that's going to be major as well. And then the 5th, 1, 4, 5. And you'll be able to add chords to the entire melody you like. The last thing I'm thinking of, just for fun, let's try going outside of just those 3 chords and see if we can add something so we can change chords on this D at the end here. So this D, and guys, I'll be finishing up in a minute, so if anyone does have any questions, please put it on in the comment section now, and then it'll be ready for me to answer once we're done. So I'm just thinking here for this D note, I could pick a different chord, and which chord could fit there, I suppose. Well, I'll just try this. I'll try one, see how it goes. So if I move back and say this would make B, D, and F. So this is getting now outside of the first levels in our junior method and our senior method. We're going to have to do some kind of fancier chords. We've got a B minor here. It's got a B, a D, and an F sharp. Let's try this. I know I'm a bit out of tune, but let's see how this goes. Let's put a B minor here, see if it sounds good, and then we'll finish up. So that's a B minor. Here we go. And again. It's all right, isn't it? I think the main thing is the more we know, the more we can just give ourselves these yes or no questions. Do I like it or don't like it? I think this is really sweet, and we've just done this in, I was blah blah blahing for a good 15 minutes before we went into that. So we've written a pretty nice melody together in 15 minutes. Well done, everyone. Really nice. Cool. So I can't see any comments, any questions coming through. So I hope that was okay, everyone. I hope you learned something and had some fun listening to the tunes, and thank you for your input, because of I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys getting involved. Yes, the B minor, Ruben, Vicki. Yeah, I thought it was nice as well. Yeah, the more we know, the more options we have. So thank you very much, everyone. Really, really nice spending half an hour with you all. And yeah, if you do have any questions about any of these kind of things, you can get in touch with us anytime. And also, I've done this one now. If you didn't check out the one I did a few weeks ago, please have a look. It was very similar, except I started with chords and then built a melody on top of the chords. So have a look at that. And if you guys like these videos that I've been doing, these Facebook Live videos, then we will. I'll carry on doing more. So just say if you'd like to see some more, and there's plenty of more stuff we could do with this. Cool, nice one, everyone. I'm going to figure out how to stock my Facebook Live now, and I'll see you all soon.